In order to build dynamic and interactive web-based applications, we need a mechanism for storing and retrieving information, and not simply information related to the content or structure of the web-based application, but also information about our users. The relational database management system is the tool that responds to that need. A relational database system is organized as a set of containers. Database is a container of tables. A table is a container of data organized in columns. A row within the table represents one instance of related information. And the true power of a relational database management system is its ability to organize data across tables efficiently. And the way that that's accomplished is by the use of keys, common data values contained in multiple tables in the database allow data from those tables to be linked together based on the key values. This makes storing information in the database efficient and gives us the ability to retrieve large amounts of data across those tables easily. Arguably, there are 3 RDBMSs in common use today supporting dynamic and interactive websites. One of the leaders in the industry is the Microsoft SQL Server database system. Another is MySQL, which used to be an open source database system. However, recently it was purchased by Oracle. And then, of course, the Oracle database system. There are other database management systems, of course. These are not as widely used as the previously mentioned systems. Of note is MariaDB, which is a database system based on the MySQL source code. When Oracle purchased MySQL, the developers of MariaDB forked the development tree and created MariaDB. The claim is that MariaDB is a binary compatible drop-in replacement for MySQL, which at this time remains open source. The database industry came together and decided that standardizing a language to communicate with the various database systems was necessary. The system that was developed is known as the Standard Query Language, SQL, and there has been a standards body, an organization that has taken responsibility for creating a universal standard for that language. That means that if we as developers become familiar with the standard SQL language, we should be able to translate that knowledge to any of the relational database management systems on the market. Unfortunately, none of the current database systems on the market are fully standard compliant. Now that's not really as scary as it sounds because the standard is huge, although there are some esoteric extensions of the standard language that are not implemented. The vast majority of commercial database systems do implement the core of the language standard. And in addition to providing the implementation of the core of the SQL programming language standard, the vendors, predominantly Microsoft and Oracle, provide their own extensions to the SQL programming language. In the Microsoft environment, those extensions are known as Transact SQL or T-SQL. In the Oracle world, those extensions are known as PL-SQL. Typically, those extensions provided by the vendors allow developers and administrators to be more efficient in their interactions with the database system. As a PHP developer, our concern is the interaction with the data that exists within a database system. To accomplish that interaction with the data, we can limit our study of SQL to the 4 basic data interaction commands: select, update, insert, and delete. These commands do as their name suggests: select data, update data, insert data, and delete data. Our challenge is to learn the syntax, the rules of the SQL language that will allow us to use these commands efficiently within our PHP code. Now, as you can imagine, it takes a lot of effort to manage a database system. Not only the interaction with the data, but also the interaction with the structural elements of the database system. So the SQL language has divided itself into two broad categories. One focused on data manipulation, and the other focused on the structure of the data. We're going to focus on the data manipulation language, commonly referred to as DML. We're going to leave the DDL, the structural elements of the language, to DBAs, to the database administrators.